Hello, I'm Ray Bagnuolo, and this is onqueer.net, where we talk a little bit about, well, being queer, of course, LGBTQIA+, however you might identify yourself, and what a gift that is for each of us to know who we are, and also to be part of the communities in which we live and we work, and especially in which we worship, if we choose to worship, because it's living our lives in the ways that are the way other people live their lives, but doing it together and being out about who we are as best as we can. That's what truly changes hearts and minds. Or I should say, and there are along the way some people who will always be the folks making the sacrifices to help us to be where we are. And I'm sure you have made some sacrifices in your own life to be who you are, but they're worth it. A sacrifice can be a gift in a way when you give up something, perhaps even just a little bit of comfort, to live more authentically and more genuinely. And there's people who are brave in so many different ways. I'm in White Plains, New York, and in front of me, I'll show you what's here. In front of me is this plaque, is the Lindsay M. Bonistall Tree of Remembrance, and it says, let's be a little closer, it says, "In loving memory of Lindsay Marie Bonistall. Lindsay served others through unselfish acts of kindness. She brought joy and laughter to all those she met. March 20th, 1985 to May 1st, 2005. And the link down there is peaceoutsidecampus.org. Lindsay was the daughter of a friend of mine. And back in 2005, in a terrible, tragic, violent act, senseless act, she was killed and abused before she was killed on a campus in North Carolina. She was 19 years old. And it was a while ago, 17 years ago now. And I remember her parents, speaking with them and thinking to myself, how will they ever be able to live in this world again with such a tragic loss? And we all have those perhaps in some ways. I remember when my brother was killed in a car accident. I was 18, 19, he was 17, 18. And you just think things are never going to change. But they do, but they don't change just because they change. They change because of the courage of people. And Lindsay's parents, they decided somehow they were going to make some sense out of what followed, rather than just grief. And certainly there was grief, and a lot of it that needed to be paid attention to. Certainly there was a huge amount of grief, and still probably is. But they created a foundation, and this foundation began a 5K in this area, the funds of which went for Peace on Campus. And you can look at the website if you'd like to. As I visited White Plains this afternoon and I remembered that was there, I decided that perhaps it was a good place for me to remember and share with you how grateful I am to those people who go before. And in the face of terrible, terrible tragedy, things that seem like they're never going to get better or improve or change, that there are people who find a way forward so that we can go forward. I certainly am in awe of folks like Lindsay's parents and those in our movement in the queer community who have managed to lead us through such difficult times. And I'm sorry that the churches in general, houses of worship in general, are not as supportive or welcoming or prophetic or outspoken, you know the list. But there are some, and there are changes taking place. But the main thing for me through all of this that I'd like to share is that as others catch up with us, a friend of mine used to say, God is pacing the horizon, waiting for us to catch up. I think we're doing that in many ways in our lives. And as people in churches and communities of faith catch up with us, I hope, as communities, governments, all these other things that are going on catch up, that we don't lose who we are. And that I just always like to say that once I realized how I was loved by the God of my understanding, that had nothing to do with what anybody was saying, I was able to start to establish some type of a relationship with a creator, with a power, with a spirit. So just know that, okay? Just know that no matter what people say, they're telling you stuff. If they're telling you the BS, that's you know what it is. Don't listen. Don't listen to them. Listen to yourself. Talk to other people who have been through experiences like yours. And just know that you are loved, okay? And thanks to you and to Lindsay's parents and to all the people, like those in war-torn places such as Ukraine today, who are struggling for things that are more important than anything anyone has to tell them about what's right or wrong, because they know, and we know too. So, peace. I'll see you soon, and thanks always for listening, and God bless. However you know God, may God bless you. Be who you are, and remember you are loved. Bye for now.